some of these daycares and childcare centers with, is it PPEs, Bree, and disinfecting?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's been a holdup, man. We've had the money since April, and the daycares which were closed and are now starting to reopen have taken a tremendous hit, like so many other small businesses. So we wanted to bring on Joe, and I know that this is something that's been kind of frustrating you, right, sir? Good morning,
Joe, are you there?
Joe. Are you there? Joe, are you there, Joe? Okay. All right. Well, yeah, trust me, guys. Take my word for it. He's really frustrated. And what we had heard from the AG is it's out of his realm. It's gone back over to public health. And what I've been able to find out is they're trying to figure out the application process. So that's bad news. I mean, if you were anticipating getting any of this CARES Act funding within, like, let's say the next week or so, then you might not want to hold your breath. Joe, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hi,
morning. Yeah, so this is something you guys have been, not just you, obviously the whole daycare association, following this. What did you make of that latest information out of Attorney General Levin Camacho?
Well, it's frustrating, but what can we do? The CARES Act is a very complicated act, and I guess we have to follow the rules of the game. What's important is that we expedite the process. If do multitasking in terms of if you're getting it reviewed by the AG's office, let's get it done. But simultaneously, bring out the application so we can start applying for it, and pending the final reviews and so forth. We're all in dire need of the fund. We are already ready to reopen July 1st for our center. I know that the other centers have already opened. They're receiving all the kids, the families, the parents are following all the protocol requirements required by public health and so forth, and they're doing well. It's important that we get back to our business of educating our children on Guam, and funding is a very important piece of our business because we've been waiting to we have bills to pay, like the rent, like mortgages, personnel, and so forth, and acquiring equipment necessary to prepare ourselves for the reopening for our center. And other centers that have already opened, they have to recoup their investments they have made so far and pay for those, the vendors and so forth.
Right.
It's important that what's important is that we expedite.
Yeah.
Get things done. Act swiftly. It's taking too long, I guess. I'm hearing that the fishery is getting their grant soon, and they'll probably get it before us because of whatever requirements are dictated by the CARES Act. I'm not so sure. I know public health is doing their best. They actually have done a fantastic job keeping us safe and spreading and keeping us from spreading the disease and so forth. I don't know. It's an important aspect for us to try and keep afloat, survive this pandemic and its aftermath.
Right, and
get back to the new norm if necessary. That the new norm is all these protocols that we have to comply with.
Yeah, and that's what this money would help you guys with. It's PPEs. I think there's also funds for sanitization. Right.
Yes,
but I mean, Matt, sir, you bring up a good point because Lania, by the time we figure out how the hell to give away this money, you guys are gonna already be sanitized and everything. You know what I mean? Because you're opening July 1st. Other child care centers have opened. And once again, because of this government inefficiency, we have you guys picking up the slack and paying for things that we have money for. The federal government is raining down all kinds of money. Money for this, money for that, money for this. But we just can't figure out how to give it away fast enough.
Well,
it's frustrating.
This way, a lot of money is flowing into our island. We need that money to revitalize the economy. That money goes back in the pockets of the the economy and the vendors, people spending. There's millions and millions of money in the island. It's a matter of us expediting and releasing those funds to the people, to the businesses that are in need of it, and so forth. And let's get the economy open. We should open all the businesses to all our residents before we even consider the tourism coming in, because if we don't clean up our act now, wow, it's going to get worse, and we don't want to go back to P1. We want to keep moving forward,
Right.
Understand what we're dealing with, follow all the protocols, and so forth. And our children right now need education. I mean, they are our future, and the centers providing all that services, the child care industry is ready and have been ready. We are a very highly regulated industry. The norm for us is sanitation, education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And those are things that we already have in place even before the COVID-19. It's a normal process for all schools on the island in terms of child care industry and so forth.
Joe, are you currently in the, is it the Child Care Development Block Grant Program?
There are a few of us in it. We have about 10% of our children are under child care development. We cater to teachers and people working out there, even first responders, et cetera, et cetera. And yes, that has helped us in terms of those that have children under block grant or public assistance. But that's just a tip of the iceberg thing. So what's important is that I guess we open up our centers 100% capacity, get back to normal, get back to educating our children, and get back to making them flourish, making them succeed, making them happy, and ready for the big school, as they call it, the public school or private school.
Right. Well, that's why we wanted to bring you on, Joe. Thank you so much for your input, and we're going to keep you posted if there's any additional developments with these funds.
But let me close on this note. I would appreciate if public health can just expedite. We pray that they have all the process in place, application in place, and give us the application. Let us apply for it, approve it accordingly to the guidelines that they're following, and release those monies. I mean, $6.4 million is a lot of money. If they have to take away 20%, 30%, or 40% for the administration costs, fine. But give us something. It helps in the long run. Be it $500 per child, $700 per child, $1,000 per child. The issue is just get it up to us and let us deal with how we spend it and how we appropriate the funds to help our business survive this pandemic.
Thank you, Joe. I got your number. Well, I'm gonna try and get Linda or someone from Public Health. I know they have Elsa. I think was the lady we had talked to.
Yes, Elsa Perez has done a tremendous job.
Right.
Linda, I think, to me, has done an excellent job. I'm sad to hear that she's retiring.
Yeah.
But I applaud the public health officials and their staff for keeping us safe.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. It's very disheartening to find out that they've still got to figure out the application, then they got to send it back to the AG.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, that's very frustrating.
That's the unfortunate aspect of it.
I thought that we were a lot closer to giving out that money.
We're still doing a volleyball game with
Right.
the applications and the guidelines. And say, oh, my God, I thought we're done already.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe, we'll
All
keep
right,
you posted.
thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe.
Wash your hands.
That's same to you.
Okay, Esta.
And wear a mask.
Yeah, wear a mask, stay home. 9:33. So let's go ahead and jump right in because Tomas McGluttony just messaged me. Hey, I'm waiting for the theater, and they were able to breathe. They were able to do this. Can you tell us a little bit about this? What we're about to play?
Right. So the Gate Theater, they were preparing to do a production of Little Shop of Horrors, but obviously because of COVID, it had to be postponed. And so Ernest DeChoco, he's